the Broncos, they should have won this game at least 35-3. I think it should have been a little more than that. So yeah, I still have questions. There are things out there too, and it's a good win. I'm going to take it. We needed it.
Sure.
But like they're talking about like Surtain locking down Jamar Chase in this game. Surtain always does a decent job against the top receivers, but Jake Browning couldn't get him the fucking ball. Yeah. Like how do we know like how well Surtain did in this? This is not a good game to talk about Surtain covering Jamar Chase because he didn't have a quarterback throwing it to him.
He did not.
Jake Browning couldn't get the ball anywhere in this game. And those are all nice things about the defense. We know the Broncos defense is good. I'm waiting to see the Broncos have an offensive game like this against a team that doesn't give up. And we said it during the stream, but I haven't seen a team just give up in a game where I felt like the effort just was gone like Cincinnati did. So, yes.
Baltimore kind of did that against the Chiefs, but yes, I mean, it seemed pretty early. They were just like phoning it in.
Baltimore, they're like, oh yeah, Lamar's out. Okay, whatever. But like, that's why I'm not giving this win as much credit as if they did this to the Joe Burrow Bengals. Sure.
Oh,
I
man.
would be the most annoying person on earth this week.
Yeah. Spencer, the Bengals, after that offensive display against the Broncos, they now have to play the Lions on Sunday.
Yeah. The Lions might set the scoring record this week. And it's not because the Bengals actually have the worst defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
They just have no offense.
No.
And the Lions defense been playing pretty good.
This is going to be like, listen, Nova and Nebula haven't been getting along the best, the two cats that I have. After watching Sunday's game, it's going to be, I'm not going to feel as bad anymore because that cat on cat violence is going to be, it's going to be bad.
Come on, Lions, give us 73 points, baby.
I don't know what's worse, Alex. The fact that the Bengals, Jake Browning threw for 125 yards, and that's pretty terrible, or the fact that Cam Ward threw for less. And I'm not even insulting Cam Ward.
Well, I would say Browning's worse because he's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Correct. Yes. It's like you said, you have the two Ferraris that are sitting there.
And it's like Jake Browning's played with them before. He's been with the Bengals for a while now. If you can't come in and get the ball to those two guys, like that just sucks. And it's not all on him, but if the Bengals want to save their season, they got to figure out something else.
They need to get a different quarterback in there. Like they have to, right?
I understand they're going to be too fucking cheap. Mike Brown's will be like, I'm not paying for one.
And dude, it's just they just doled out so much money. They did.
The Bengals are the only team who I swear to God could trade for a quarterback today, and tomorrow that new backup quarterback would already have a contract dispute with the team.
I know we were talking about it on Monday, but like legitimately, Jameis Winston makes so much sense.
Do it. Pull the trigger.
Or just that offense will actually go. He might throw a bunch of interceptions. Don't get me wrong, but it is better than what this is right now.
You need something, man. And Jake Browning,
horrific.
He's like a quarterback who he can come in when your offensive line's playing well and, keep the ship afloat for a quarter or a half at this point. I thought he was more than that, but you've got another 2 months to figure out before you can even think about Joe Burrow possibly coming back. At this rate, Joe's not going to play this year. Like, by the time he's healthy, this team's going to be so out of it.
Yeah. And then what's the point, right?
I knew since he was struggling, right? You lose a quarterback like Joe, that's going to happen. I don't blame the Bengals for not being as good without Joe Burrow. He is,
of course, one
of the best quarterbacks in the game, but I was just I felt so bad for Cincy after the way the Broncos beat them because the Broncos didn't even play their best football and we fucking destroyed them, Tom. If they played one of I don't know, one of the top 5 teams in the league, it would have just been a massacre.
That's like they're playing the Lions on Sunday. It is going to be ugly, man.
If the craziest thing that could happen is the Bengals beat the Lions this week.
Correct. Jerry Dan, this is why I love Eagles fans. As an Eagles fan, I'm glad we're at 4-0, but the offense is not to my liking. It's pretty early, but what point do we fire our OC? Football
Eagles
has
fans
never been
might
more
be
back.
the
It has
craziest.
never been more back. See, that's the thing, T, and that's because that's what Bengals fans have been talking about too. And we started talking about this on Monday night. Is Zach Taylor, right? Like
Yeah.
that seat seems to be pretty warm. The question is, this is coming from a fan perspective. Is this how the front office feels, or does Joe Burrow being out afford Zach Taylor that excuse of, hey, this is why the team's not doing well. We lost our, all-star quarterback. And I don't know the answer to that. And I think everybody's in agreement that if the Bengals don't do anything this season, in that they don't trade for a quarterback, they don't go and try to get somebody out of free agent, like something to try and make that offense better. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what you do, because at the end of this season, you fire everyone. I mean, like Trey Hendrickson's going to be gone after this year.
I got the solution, Tom.
You just trade him and try to get something. Oh my God, what a disaster!
Well, I don't know if you try to trade. Maybe if Trey wants to get traded.
If Brandon, by like week 7, that nope, we're not making any moves. Like, this is our team this year.
But if I'm Trey, I don't let them trade me. I say, you made me fucking come play here. Now I'm going to sit here and you're not getting anything from me. In fact, my hamstring hurts. My hamstring hurts pretty bad, and I'm going to rest up.
Yeah.
I take the petty road if I'm Trey. What I do if I'm the Bengals, don't do anything, okay? Don't do anything. Tank your season. Get that really high draft pick. Fire Zach Taylor after this season. You got to clean house in the coaching department. I go out, I hire Robert Saleh as my head coach, and I hire the recently fired Mike McDaniel as my offensive coordinator. Boom. Problem solved.
He's probably going to get fired, so yeah.
Robert Saleh gets the defense playing great. You got Mike McDaniel with Joe Burrow. Are you kidding me? That's how you fix them.
Be fun. Yes, Ricky, that's also a really good point. The offensive line, which wasn't good last year too, and that's why they drafted Mims, right, to try and make it a little bit better for Burrow. But we've been having this conversation ever since they drafted Jamar Chase, because it was the Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell draft pick, right? And it worked out that they went to the Super Bowl. The problem is, like, they have some great wide receivers, but they still don't have an offensive line. And so maybe, Ricky, like, if there's any saving grace that comes out of this Bengals season, which is bound to be pretty terrible unless they turn things around, maybe they can go get the best offensive lineman in the draft, where they're sitting. Yeah. That is like a one shining beacon that's there of like, okay, maybe this could get me through 3 months of Bengals football. But yeah, it's about